Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Together. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Paul. It's so wonderful to have you here with us today.
How are you today, Paul?
I'm doing great. My dog just greeted me this morning with so much excitement. It made my whole day. How about you, Olivia?
Aw, that's so sweet. I'm doing wonderful. I don't have a pet right now, but I love animals.
Perfect, because today we're talking about pets.
Yes, pets are such an important part of many people's lives.
Absolutely. And talking about pets is a great conversation starter in English.
When you meet someone, asking, "Do you have any pets?" is friendly and natural.
Today, we'll teach you how to talk about pets, describe them, and share stories about animals you love.
Before we start, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button and share this video with your friends learning English.
Yes, and if you're a pet lover, you're going to enjoy this lesson.
All right, let's get started.
Let's go.
Okay, Paul, let's start with the basics. How do you ask someone about their pets?
The most common question is, do you have any pets?
Simple and direct. Do you have any pets?
You can answer yes, I have a dog, or no, I don't have any pets.
If you have a pet, share what kind. Yes, I have a cat, or I have two dogs.
You can also be more specific. I have a golden retriever, or I have a tabby cat.
Golden Retriever and Tabby are specific breeds or types.
Right. But don't worry if you don't know the breed. Just say, I have a dog, or I have a cat.
Now, people often ask follow-up questions. What's your dog's name? Or how old is your cat?
Answer with the name first. His name is Max, or her name is Luna.
Notice we use he or she for pets, not it. Pets are family members.
Exactly. He's 5 years old, or she's just a puppy.
Puppy means a baby dog. Kitten means a baby cat.
These are adorable words. I have a puppy. He's only 3 months old.
You can also talk about other pets. I have a hamster or I have fish.
I have a rabbit. I have a bird. I have a guinea pig.
Some people have unusual pets. I have a snake or I have a lizard.
That's totally fine. All pets are valid.
Now, what if someone doesn't have a pet currently?
You can say, I don't have a pet right now, but I'd love to get one someday.
Or I used to have a dog, but not anymore. This shares past experience.
I used to have is perfect for talking about pets you had before.
Let me share something. I grew up with dogs. We had a beagle named Charlie.
Oh, that's lovely. What was he like?
He was so energetic and friendly. He loved everyone. I still miss him.
That's beautiful. See how talking about pets brings up warm memories?
Exactly. Pets create emotional connections.
Now, let's learn how to describe what your pet looks like.
Yes, this helps people visualize your pet.
First, size. He's a big dog, or she's a small cat.
You can also say medium-sized for in between.
For dogs specifically, he's huge, or she's tiny.
Huge means very big. Tiny means very small. These are descriptive.
Now, color. He's black, or she's white.
My dog is brown or my cat is orange.
You can also say she's black and white for multiple colors.
Or get creative. He's golden brown or she's gray with white patches.
Patches means spots or areas of different color.
For fur, you can say he has long fur or she has short fur.
Fluffy is a great word. My cat is so fluffy.
Fluffy means soft and puffy. Everyone loves fluffy pets.
You can also say she has soft fur or his coat is shiny.
Coat is another word for an animal's fur.
What about facial features?
He has big brown eyes or she has floppy ears.
Floppy ears means ears that hang down. So cute.
Or pointy ears for ears that stand up.
My dog has a long tail, Or my cat has a short tail.
Some dogs have curly tails. His tail curls up.
These details make your description vivid and interesting.
You can also describe markings. She has a spot on her nose.
Or he has stripes for cats with striped patterns.
What does your dog look like, Paul?
He's a medium-sized dog with short brown fur. He has big, soulful eyes.
Soulful eyes. What a beautiful description.
Yes, his eyes are so expressive. You can tell what he's feeling.
Now let's talk about personality. This is the most fun part.
Absolutely. Every pet has a unique personality.
For friendly pets, you can say he's very friendly or she loves everyone.
My dog is super affectionate. Affectionate means loving and cuddly.
She's a people person is funny to say about a pet. It means they love humans.
For playful pets, he's so playful or she has so much energy.
My cat is really energetic, or my dog is always running around.
For calm pets, he's very calm or she's laid back.
Laid back means relaxed and easygoing. Great word.
My cat just sleeps all day. She's so lazy.
Lazy in this context is endearing, not negative.
Exactly. It's said with love.
For smart pets, he's really smart or she's so clever.
My dog knows so many tricks, or my cat is very intelligent.
For silly pets, he's so goofy or she does the funniest things.
Goofy means silly and amusing. Such a fun word.
What about shy pets?
She's shy around strangers, or he takes time to warm up to people.
Warm up to means become comfortable with someone gradually.
Some pets are protective. She's very protective of our family.
Or he barks at strangers. He's a good guard dog.
Now, let me tell you about my dog's personality. He's the biggest goofball.
What does he do?
He runs in circles when he's excited. He spins around and around. It's hilarious.
That's adorable. Goofball is perfect for silly pets.
He also tilts his head when I talk to him, like he's trying to understand.
Oh, that's so cute. Dogs do that. It melts your heart.
Exactly. These little quirks make pets special.
Quirks means unique behaviors or characteristics.
Let's talk about taking care of pets, daily routines, and responsibilities.
Yes, this is practical and relatable.
For dogs, you need to walk them. I walk my dog every morning.
Or I take him for a walk 3 times a day.
Take for a walk is the common phrase.
You also need to feed them. I feed my cat twice a day.
She eats in the morning and evening, or he has breakfast and dinner.
Pets need water too. I always make sure she has fresh water.
For grooming, I brush his fur every week, or she needs regular grooming.
Grooming means cleaning and maintaining their appearance.
Some pets need baths. I give him a bath once a month.
Or you can take them to a groomer. I take her to the groomer.
For cats, you need a litter box. I clean the litter box daily.
Litter box is where cats go to the bathroom indoors.
You also need to play with them. I play with my dog every evening.
We play fetch in the park, or I throw toys for her to chase.
Fetch is a game where you throw something and the dog brings it back.
For training, I'm training him to sit and stay.
Or she already knows several commands.
Commands are instructions like sit, stay, come.
Pets also need vet visits. I take him to the vet once a year.
She needs her vaccinations, or he had a checkup last month.
These are all responsibilities of pet ownership.
Here's something real. Having a pet is a big commitment.
Absolutely. It's not just cute photos. It's daily work.
But it's so worth it. The love you get back is incredible.
Now let's talk about sharing pet stories. This is where conversations get really fun.
Yes, Pet stories are always entertaining and heartwarming.
You can start with, "You won't believe what my dog did yesterday."
Or, let me tell you a funny story about my cat.
These openings grab attention.
For funny stories, describe the situation. He jumped in the bathtub while I was showering.
That's hilarious. Or, "She stole food right off my plate."
These specific details make stories come alive.
You can also share mishaps. "He chewed up my favorite shoes."
Or, she knocked over a plant and made a huge mess.
Chewed up means destroyed by chewing. Common dog behavior.
For heartwarming stories, share emotional moments. When I was sick, she stayed by my side all day. Oh, that's so touching. Or, he always knows when I'm sad. He comes and cuddles.
Cuddles means hugs or snuggles. So sweet.
Pets have amazing intuition. They sense our emotions.
You can also share proud moments. He learned a new trick in just one day.
Or, she's so well behaved at the vet, everyone compliments her.
Well-behaved means obedient and good. Let me share a touching memory. When I was a child, my dog saved me once.
Really? What happened?
I was playing near water and slipped. He barked so loudly that my parents came running.
Oh, wow. He alerted your parents. That's incredible.
I truly believe he understood I was in danger. Dogs are so smart and loyal.
Loyal means faithful and devoted. Perfect word for pets.
That's why pets aren't just animals, they're family members.
Absolutely. They give unconditional love.
Unconditional love means love without conditions or requirements. Now, let's talk about pet preferences. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
Oh, this is a classic question.
Are you a dog person or a cat person? People love answering this.
I'm definitely a dog person. I love their energy and loyalty.
I respect that. I'm a dog person too, obviously, but I understand cat lovers.
Cat people say cats are more independent. Cats are low maintenance.
Low maintenance means they don't require as much attention or work.
Dog people say dogs are more loyal and interactive. Dogs are always happy to see you.
It's not really a competition, though. Both are wonderful.
Exactly. Different pets suit different lifestyles.
If you live in a small apartment, a cat might be better.
If you love outdoor activities, a dog is perfect.
If you travel a lot, a cat is more independent.
If you want a running buddy, get a dog.
Some people love both. I'm both a dog person and a cat person.
Or neither. Some people prefer other animals.
I'm more of a bird person, or I prefer reptiles.
All preferences are valid. There's no wrong answer.
What matters is the connection you have with your pet.
Here's a cultural note. In some countries, certain animals are more popular as pets.
Right. In Japan, many people have cats in small apartments.
In America, dogs are extremely popular. Many houses have big yards.
In some cultures, different animals are considered good luck.
Pets reflect culture and lifestyle. Fascinating.
Finally, let's discuss the benefits and challenges of having pets.
Good idea. Let's be realistic about both sides.
First, benefits. Pets provide companionship.
Companionship means friendship and company. You're never alone.
My dog keeps me company, or I never feel lonely with my cat.
Pets also reduce stress. Petting my dog helps me relax.
Petting means stroking or patting an animal. It's therapeutic.
They encourage exercise. Walking my dog keeps me active. And they provide routine. I have to wake up to feed him. It gives my day structure.
Pets teach responsibility. Taking care of her taught me to be responsible.
Now for challenges. Pets are expensive. Vet bills can be costly.
Food, grooming, medical care, it all adds up.
Pets also require time. You can't just leave them alone all day.
And they limit your freedom. I can't travel easily because of my dog.
You need to arrange pet care. I need a pet sitter when I'm away.
Pets can also damage things. He scratched the furniture.
Or she had accidents in the house. meaning bathroom accidents.
But here's the thing. Despite the challenges, most pet owners say it's worth it.
The love and joy pets bring outweigh the difficulties.
He's worth all the trouble, or I wouldn't trade her for anything.
These phrases show how much pets mean to people.
Pets aren't just animals, they're family.
All right, Paul, let's review everything we learned today.
Yes, so much useful vocabulary.
First, asking about pets. Do you have any pets? What's your dog's name?
Types of pets: dog, cat, rabbit, hamster, bird, fish.
Baby animals, puppy, kitten.
Second, appearance: size, big, small, tiny, huge.
Colors, black, white, brown, golden. She has patches.
Fur: fluffy, soft, long, short. His coat is shiny.
Third, personality. Friendly, playful, energetic, calm, laid back, smart, clever, goofy.
She's shy. He's protective. She's affectionate.
Fourth, daily care. Walk my dog, feed my cat, clean the litter box.
Take for a walk, give a bath, take to the vet.
Fifth, pet stories. You won't believe what happened. Share specific details.
He chewed up. She knocked over. He stayed by my side.
Sixth, preferences. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
Low maintenance. Different pets suit different lifestyles.
Seventh, benefits and challenges. Companionship, reduce stress, encourage exercise.
But also expensive, require time, limit freedom.
Here's your homework. If you have a pet, practice describing them in English.
If you don't have a pet, describe a pet you'd like to have someday.
Write 3 sentences about appearance and 3 about personality.
Share a story if you can. Stories make language learning fun.
Pets are a wonderful conversation topic. Use it.
Well, Olivia, that was such a lovely lesson.
I agree. Talking about pets always brings smiles.
Pets bring so much joy to our lives.
And now our learners can talk about them confidently in English.
Before we finish, thank you all so much for watching English Together.
Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We create new lessons every week.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed this lesson and share it with your friends learning English.
And now we have questions for you. We'd love to hear from you in the comments.
First, do you have any pets? Tell us about them.
And second, what's your favorite pet story? Something funny or heartwarming?
We read every comment and we love hearing about your furry friends.
Or scaly friends or feathery friends, all pets welcome.
Keep practicing English, stay confident, and give your pet a hug from us.
If you don't have a pet, hug yourself. You deserve it.
All right, everyone, until next time.
Goodbye for now.
See you next time. Bye.